Alright guys, Wes here, welcome back to the channel, and today we have a ton of news to talk about for Dragons Dogma 2. The road to launch was looking pretty tame until it got really spicy recently, when over 6 hours of gameplay has leaked online. Dragons Dogma 2 is out in the wild, so heed this warning, it's about to get crazy. Now along with that, we have brand new game details and comments from game director Hideaka Itsuno that we'll be going over. I'll also be talking about when the big review embargo will be lifted for DD2, so I'll be talking about that and so much more, guys. Check the video chapters for easy viewing. Also, I'm giving away a PS5 for 160,000 subscribers. To enter, it's super easy. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, tweet me proof, and then that will enter you for a chance to win a PS5. So first and foremost, we have to talk about the biggest news of the day, and that is Dragons Dogma 2 gameplay has officially leaked online. And it didn't just leak, like there is 6 hours of gameplay uncut out there, and it's just really wild. Obviously, we won't be covering any of the details, but a user on Twitch actually just went live on Friday, and they streamed just literally 4 hours of gameplay. But that was just for one stream. There was another stream that went for 6 hours long. Capcom eventually found out about it, struck the channel down. The VOD is no longer available on Twitch, but it was 5 or 6 hours of content just showing Dragons Dogma 2 gameplay. Why is it that every time a game leaks online like this, it's nearly always from somebody that doesn't actually care about the game that they're leaking? For obvious reasons, I won't be covering any of the gameplay details from that leak, as that's just kind of scummy. If you want to watch the VOD, you could probably find it somewhere on the internet. It's not available on Twitch. But this brings me to the biggest point of this topic, and that is if you plan on playing Dragons Dogma 2 and you want to avoid as many spoilers as possible, now is the time to just mute keywords, only watch certain YouTubers that you know will not spoil the game. My channel is a full safe zone, but be careful because there's a lot of creators out there that will put spoilers in the thumbnails. We've literally waited for 12 years to play this video game, and it would truly be unfortunate to have the game fully spoiled 5 or 6 days away from the game's official launch. So again, be careful on social media, only watch YouTubers that you know will not spoil the game. Don't go to specific Reddit threads that say spoiler in the title, and just be careful on TikTok as well. I've seen so many game spoilers come through on TikTok. It's going to be the Wild West for the next 6 days, so be careful and best of luck. So moving right along, according to the official Dragons Dogma 2 Twitter, they posted, with 1 week to go, Dragons Dogma 2 director Hideaka Itsuno is here to share insights on Dragons Dogma 2 directly with you. He then said, here's the first note on creation of the Beastren. Hideaka then said, quote, Dragons Dogma 2 introduces the new Beastren race. Originally, we had planned to include them in the first game, but the technology at the time made it difficult to show multiple characters with fur on screen, and now we could finally realize our vision. Now, what I thought was interesting, according to Itsuno in a previous interview, he actually talked about his motivation behind the creation and their design, to which he said, when developing the first Dragons Dogma, I already had the idea of having a pawn that looked like a beast or a lion, similar to the character of Leo from the Red Earth game, which is a 1996 Capcom fantasy fighting game. He said that the idea had been there for a while, and the main point wasn't to have a character based on a lion, but rather he wanted them to have features close to that of a lion. Now for the next developer note from Itsuno, this note was in regards to the design of the open world, to which Itsuno said, in designing the world, our team visited real world locations to understand the feeling of traveling to a destination within sight while feeling excited by the path there. Our goal was to make traveling along your path fun and exciting, which honestly, from all of the gameplay footage we've seen for Dragons Dogma 2, it really does seem like that is the case. For Dragons Dogma 2, they didn't want to have a conventional fast travel system because they felt like if they made exploration and traversing the open world fun and interesting, then there's no reason to have a fast travel because it's supposed to be fun to move around the map. For other games that have a ton of fetch quests, it makes sense to have a fast travel system, but I think that all just comes down to a poor questing system. So it at least seems like Dragons Dogma 2 will tackle that issue and make it so it's actually fun and interesting to traverse around the map. Now with the game set to release on March 22nd, the question remains still, when are we going to finally get our hands on the reviews for Dragons Dogma? When are the reviews going to drop for DD2? Now while Capcom hasn't given us official word on the embargo date, they do have a pretty interesting track record that could give us some information on when exactly that embargo will be lifted. So if we look at the past games that Capcom has published, like Street Fighter 6 and RE4, the reviews for those games went live a few days before the game officially launched. Now if history does indeed repeat itself this time, we could be getting reviews for Dragons Dogma 2 releasing on either March 18th or March 19th. And honestly, I think that's probably our best guess of when that's going to happen. Having the reviews go live either Monday or Tuesday gives people plenty of time to actually watch the reviews, read the reviews, before officially deciding to buy the game or not on March 22nd. Now it could be that the reviews go live at any time. My guess though would be the start of the upcoming week, either Monday or Tuesday, which I think is a solid timeline. Obviously the best case scenario would have been to have the reviews go live 2 weeks early, Sadly, unfortunately, that ended up not being the case. So this next week is going to be massive for Dragons Dogma 2. We got the reviews going live. We got the official launch date of the game. The hype is definitely real. So next up, we actually got a new video from the Dragons Dogma YouTube channel. There was a welcome to Dragons Dogma 2 presented by Ian McShane. Now, if you haven't watched the video yet, I strongly recommend it. It was incredible. Ian McShane is a brilliant actor and voice actor. But for those of you who didn't watch the video, here's a brief overview of everything that video covered, as it provided some pretty interesting details. Now, according to the video, they said that the world is deeply influenced by magic, blending myth with reality, and it centers around an ongoing saga. A formidable dragon has tormented the world for eons, known for its cruelty and chaos. No one dares to confront the dragon except for a chosen hero known as the Arisen, who is selected by the dragon itself. The Arisen, stripped of their heart by the dragon, is fated to confront it, rising beyond their ordinary life to embrace their destiny. Now, the Arisen is able to access the Rift to summon pawns, which are mystical beings from a parallel realities, to aid in their quest. Pawns are skilled in various combat arts, serving as loyal companions to the Arisen. The journey takes them through two distinct nations, Vermund and Batal, each unique in its terrain and lifestyle. Vermund is home to humans and Batal is home to the Beastren. The world is filled with diverse and dangerous creatures, including monsters and mythical beings like harpies, goblins, golems, and the undead. They then covered some of the legendary monsters such as the Minotaur, Medusa, Dullahan, Chimera, Griffin, and Talos, which we've talked about those many times. The video closes out with the ultimate goal is a climactic battle with the dragon, fulfilling both of their destinies in Dragons Dogma 2. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the trend of using famous actors to promote video games. Like, we know these voices. Ian McShane is a legendary actor. So yeah, once again, 10 out of 10 marketing from the team over at Capcom. And honestly, if you are on the fence and you're not really sure if you're going to buy Dragons Dogma 2 or not, watch the Welcome to Dragons Dogma 2 video presented by Ian McShane. If that doesn't hype you up, I don't know what will. Like, you have to be entertained by that thing. Now, moving right along, I'd like to talk about the overall expectations of the launch of Dragons Dogma 2. Now, with how much hype and excitement that there is for this upcoming game, it is worth saying that we should all keep our expectations in check. From the previews, it sounds like Dragons Dogma 2 is going to be a worthy sequel. There were some previews like the VGC 24/7 that said Dragons Dogma 2 could be one of the next greats like The Witcher 3, Elden Ring, and Baldur's Gate 3, but I think it's worth mentioning just to keep your expectations in check. While I do think Dragons Dogma 2 is indeed the real deal, we have to understand the game development in 2024, anything could happen. Capcom has been on a good streak of releasing banger after banger, but anything could happen. Now, Hideaka Itsuno, the game director, seems like he put a lot of passion into this project, and I personally am rooting for him. I think Dragons Dogma 2 will end up being a great game, so whether it'll be up there with the likes of Elden Ring, Baldur's Gate 3, and The Witcher 3, who knows? I'm personally treating it as a sequel to Dragons Dogma 1. It is the next game in that installment. Granted, we've waited 12 years for that game, so as a fan of the original, like, my hype meter is already through the roof, the fact that we're getting a new game. But it is worth mentioning that there are some things that are kind of red flags, specifically in regards to the console version. The uncapped frame rate is still a red flag to some people. So yeah, whenever it comes to you purchasing the game, just make sure it's an informed decision based on either reviews or just content that you've watched. It's kind of better to be safe than sorry. If you've never played Dragons Dogma 1, I strongly recommend watching gameplay of that game and then just look at the comparisons between Dragons Dogma 1 and the Dragons Dogma 2 and use that to kind of inform your decision on whether or not you're going to buy the game or not. I wouldn't pre-order, wait for the reviews, and keep your expectations in check. Either way though, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Will you be buying Dragons Dogma 2 at launch? From everything you've seen regarding the gameplay and the trailers, has that convinced you? Did you play the first one? Let me know in the comment section. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button if you've enjoyed my coverage of the game. Subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on so you're not missing out on any future gaming news. Also, guys, I am giving away a PS5 for 160,000 subscribers. To enter, it's super easy. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, tweet me proof that you're subscribed, and that will enter you for a chance to win. Congrats to Wheezing for winning the 150k sub giveaway. Thanks again for watching this video, and until next time, this has been Wes, and I will talk to you guys again soon.